I'm Jack Watson, UI UX designer, illustrator, animator, donut connoisseur. I'm going live a little bit early today. I normally stream 4 to 6, but I'm streaming early. 6 to 5 today because I can, and it's my stream, and I do what I want. Anyways, we're going to be working on the plants again today because that's what I feel like working on. So let's switch over to my screen so we can get right into it. This is where we left off yesterday. We have a huge list of plants to get through. We got this golden pothos done yesterday. I am going to hide this plant though because it's massive and it takes slows down my file significantly because of all the brush strokes that are in there. So we're going to hide that one, but I wanted to show you how beautiful it was before I did that. Welcome, Oliver. How's it going? Happy Sunday to everybody. I hope you're having a great end to your weekend and then a great start to your week coming up. There we go. That is much better. But we need to add a bunch more stuff in here today. So we're going to try to knock out more plants than we did yesterday at least. Probably going to start today kind of working right to left, so we're gonna probably start maybe with the pitcher plant over here, and then the coleus, and then this peperomia burrow's tail African violet. So that's gonna be the plan for today. I do need to look up this plant again though, so let's look up a pitcher plant, which is here. This is probably gonna be similar style-wise to our calla lilies in terms of how I kind of made those shapes. Let's see if we can find one like in a hanging planter, because these are all kind of hard to figure out. See, hanging pot. There we go. Alright, so it kind of looks like they grow and hang down from the pot that they're planted in. So, and they're going to have a similar looking kind of a leaf to our calla lily as well. So I'm going to start with these. We're going to draw some stems kind of hanging down here, and then I'm going to add some of these leaves in. To our scene. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did with that what's the word I'm looking for? Golden pothos, and that I'm gonna have these come down, kind of making the branching structures here that I need for all of these. Leaves, and then I'm just going to kind of add them in. Looks like they kind of all do kind of come off of a main base stem though, at least. Like this. pretty good. Chat is quiet today. I am alive at an unusual time, so maybe more people will come hang out while we work. I'm gonna use a similar kind of a leaf too, so we're gonna bring this over here. And let's isolate this. Out something that goes from here. Straffel, how's it going? How's your weekend? How has your weekend been? I should say. Object arrange, send to back. And then I'm gonna start the other side. I think maybe subconsciously I want to finish up streaming before it gets crazy hot in this room. I was expecting Corey to laugh, but he didn't. Stian, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Now everybody's hopping in. Yeah, apologies for the late surprise. I'm gonna go live early. So, we're working on a pitcher plant here. Just adding the top portion of it first. And then I'm gonna go down here and add the little like pitcher components that just kind of hang down off of the top of the plant. It's pretty cool actually. I think it actually is gonna work out pretty nicely in this space. Travel says, it was relaxing. Thanks for asking. Well, that's nice. Always nice to have a relaxing weekend. For sure. I'm really just copying and pasting this so I can keep the color easily. There we go. Join this object. I really need to remember the arrange keyboard shortcuts, but I never do. Stan says, I'm tired, walked 30k steps today in the woods. So, only good you started earlier. I might have been asleep. Well, that's good. That's a lot of steps. So you went for basically a hike in the woods, is what you're telling us. That sounds lovely. I'm gonna group these. I'm actually gonna bring this in front. I'm actually gonna worry about that bottom edge there because I'm gonna put this behind this pot in this leaf. No, I'm not. How am I gonna do that? I am gonna move this up. this behind. Minor adjustments here as I start to get these leaves in, how I want to layer this all together. So, bear with me. Yeah, Stian says, summer is here today finally. It is much warmer today. Yesterday it was, like cold and rainy in the morning. So, Charles says, my max steps were 24K. I was half dead after that. Stian says, I start feeling it after 10K. I would imagine. I'm actually going to let this one come up really tall here. And then be narrow underneath. Phone call. Let's group this. Actually, looks like it's working out well. Let me actually go see out here. For this one, I need my swatches panel up here. It's too difficult. I'm so used to it being next to my color here. Alright, so it looks like I used the darker green and the lighter green, because I'm going to add some to the background as well. Sorry, Sage is gonna bark. Corey is picking up a delivery from downstairs, so there they go. Bad timing. They should stop soon, otherwise I'll mute myself. Hold on. Alright, I think they're... Oh, nope. They're still not done. Hold on. Alright, they're finally... Oh my gosh. Hey, Sam, come here. dog. I actually think I'm gonna pull this up higher. Yeah, I like that. Oh, yeah. Stian says, I love when the mini dogs think they're alpha and the other dog could literally just sit on it. Oh, yes. That dog can kill your mini dog. Sage is a big baby. The Chihuahua is the boss around these parts. So, you know, Sage is the big softie. Trust me. He's a big baby. Also, welcome, Media from. Let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I should unsnooze my notifications too, so I can make sure that I actually get them now. Alright, looks like they're coming through. Okay. Oh, dogs. I'm gonna do the same thing that I did over here and have this one come up quite a bit higher and then be lower down here. So. Go. And I'm gonna fill in the background space with darker leaves once I get all these lighter ones in. Should make sure I'm grouping all of this while I go. Let's cut this one a little bit shorter. Come on. That hotkey was not working. Just kind of adding some folded over leaves. So I'm gonna follow this shape up, tall, and this fold down. And then I can use the same piece from behind and cut that away. Actually, I think it should come up that high. There we go. And then I've got one more in front, and then I'm going to add the back leaves, which will all be this dark color. I haven't given Yoann a shout out in a while, but if you like the music, Yoann Turpin, I've got links to Yoann's work in the description below the video if you want to go check it out, if you dig the music. We haven't done work for Yoann in a while, but Yoann, I've got links to Yoann's stuff in the description if you want to check it out. Alright, that looks pretty good. And I'm actually gonna group random 10. Alright, I'm gonna group all of these together, just so I can keep them separate for the ones I'm gonna add in the background here. A couple more branching pieces, but these are all gonna be behind, so I'm gonna work with them, but then I'm gonna send them to the back. What's up? Dogs are back. Bad dogs are back. I'll just do some plain ones too. There we go. Alright, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna make sure that I put it inside of my clipping mask now. Just in front of this. Group all of that. Now we're gonna start on the other plants. Or the other plants. The other components of this, which are the pictures, which kind of hang off. Trying to figure out where they attach to. It's sort of vague. Looks like they might come down off of the leaves almost, or like somehow in connection to the leaves. So let's start there. Just gonna have some come down. And I guess I'll put these behind the front leaves. And we're gonna have them come down a lot lower so we can actually see them. We're gonna make this color I'm gonna start with this color, I think. Go. These are going to be thinner. I'm going to make these 1 point. There we go. Gareth's here. Welcome, Gareth. We're working on this weird pitcher plant right now. Trying to figure out how I'm gonna handle the color on these. The color transition. Green on the inside. I'm going to use an offset path. We're gonna do darker green. There we go. It's kind of like the front inside. Oh, Jane's here. Everybody's here. How's that going? Jane, Gareth. I guess earlier, live stream means more people can come hang out. Yeah, it is early. We're working on a pitcher plant. right now. Which is a carnivorous plant. Not gonna get the body of this right on the first go, so we're gonna adjust. We're also gonna make the edge lighter on this. So we can see it. Actually, I get that pretty good on the first go. I do want the bottom of this to be like round though, so I'm probably gonna use a circle here. There we go. Jane says, oh, or Sian says, oh, now I understand. I was like, I've never seen this plant before. It's a really strange plant, admittedly. Similar to the calla lily, which is another kind of strange flower here. This one is a bit odd. But they attract insects and then close the top up around them. We're gonna probably do a color gradient on this, but not a gradient. You'll see. So I'll let this be the pink color. Here. And let's see if we can use this pink. We might need to add more of a reddish color. I always like to use the colors I have if I can, so let's try this. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Everybody saying hi to Jane. Let's try adding the pink. I'm gonna put this behind and then mix it. Might get us close enough to the color. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Pretty good. And then they kind of have this line that comes from here. I was hoping it would grab my stroke style as well, but I probably would if I had chosen one of the other options. Alright, and then there's kind of like a little leaf that sticks up over top as well. I assume that's where it closes down on its victim. Alright, and I'm going to use another path for this. But we're going to change the color of it to be this. Pull it up, pull this down. And it's going to match the color of the leaves on the plant, so. It's sort of this foreshortened perspective, which is annoying, but doable. There we go. Looks like it's got a little hat on it. There's one. Oh, what happened to my line here? Oh, it's just zoomed out. Okay. I'm gonna add a second line here. I'm gonna flip it. And then I'm gonna cut this. And we're actually gonna make this green. So it kind of connects, you can see, and kind of blends into the other line. And there's kind of our little pitcher plant. It's giving Korok. It is. Korok plant. And I'm probably just gonna do two varieties of this and cheat a little bit. So I'm gonna use two and just kind of adjust them a little bit instead of drawing like a million of these. Make this one bigger, tilt it up a little bit, just make it look like it's different than the other one. Odari's here! I know, Odari, you're probably like, what? Jack is streaming early. It's true. I decided to stream early because I want to. Working on the pitcher plant, making good progress. I'm gonna try to get through more than one plant today. Yesterday we only got one done, but that's okay. Sometimes it'd be like that. That Golden Bathos was a lot of work, admittedly. Alright, should we do one from like more of a front angle or more of like a side angle? Okay, let's see. Starting with the top again. These are kind of fun to draw. I do want to edit this though. I don't like the way this looks. There we go. Here, so I can shrink this down. There we go. Odari's letting us know that it's Flower Day in Michigan. I didn't know that was a thing until today. Neither did I. This is typically when people would buy their plants for the plant their flowers for the year or what have you. So they're not in danger of the frost. We did have frost. Last week, which is a bit unusual for that time of year, although not unusual to also still have snow in May, so. Oh, just a warning, I don't think it frosted. Okay, well you would know better than I do. You're the plant man, Corey. There we go. A little bit different shape. Actually, I don't think you see this from this perspective. Let's add our little leaf on top, shall we? Have this one kind of come up tall. Alright, this one got a little crazy. So, bring it back. Got another style. Group it. Jara loves air plants. Did you see we're gonna do the jellyfish air plant? We haven't gotten there yet. That was Umacorn's suggestion from yesterday. They're like air plants that grow out of the bottoms of these planters that look like jellyfish. Like the top portion of a jellyfish, and then the air plant is the bottom part. Does that make sense? Yeah, Umacorn, the jellyfish. Can't forget. Alright, and then we can use a couple of these. Merge this. So we're gonna have a shape over top. We'll make it darker. Actually, we'll go with the dark. There we go. Maybe that's too dark. Maybe like purple. I'm just gonna put some of these. Oh. Darn. Let's pull this in. Finally got it sorted, and I forgot to expand the stroke, so we're gonna do that again. Object, path, align stroke. We'll do this, both of these at once, actually. Yes, Umacorn says carnivorous, right? Yes, these are carnivorous plants. And these are going to go in the background. Just so we have some back here as well. Behind our pot. And then I'm going to take all of these, group them. We're going to find our friend here. And now everything is grouped together. Oh, except for those. Where'd you go? Oh, they're right behind. Alright, let's take a zoom out. Actually worked out well in that little pink pot. Alright, so that's done. And we can unhide to see how everything looks together with our golden pothos. This one really slows down my computer, so I try not to show it. I don't have to. Okay, let's go here. Put it on screen. Rather than trying to scroll around. Do a save. Of course, did you color your hair, Jack, by the way? No, this is just what my hair looks like without getting a haircut for, like, 2 or 3 weeks longer than I should have. I have one scheduled this week, so I will have normal, back to normal, short hair, after this. Yes, these are carnivorous plants, Umacorn. Odara says I have to buy the jellyfish part. I saw someone with seashells on them today. Very cool. Yeah, they look like, it looked like some of them were made out of, seashells. Yeah, Corey's saying the lighting may have changed a bit. I have a new setup in here. I have a different desk, different position. Very nice new setup. So I can, I have a wall behind me now, although you can't see it because of the green screen. But the idea is I will be able to have my Donut Jedi art. I'll be able to have like all my stuff behind me essentially. Hopefully. Versus before I had Corey's desk behind me, so I'm no longer on the opposite side of Corey's desk. And on the other, I'm turned away, opposite way. What? It's true. I don't know what that look was for. And now we can exchange glances. It's true. It's true. Alright, what's next? I was gonna work right to left, so I think next is this coleus plant, which I don't know that I have a image of either. Coleus. And I've mentioned this before when I'm looking at references, and I've talked about this actually on the last challenges I did when we did challenge on working with a reference. I'm actually not using them directly. I'm just kind of getting like, okay, that's kind of what the shape of the leaves look like and everything. This is gonna be, I think, another one where I'm gonna try making the leaf, because it's such a elaborate design. I think I'm gonna try to make the leaf first, and then use the envelope to store it to put it into place. And I think that it was a shop wanted a watermelon coleus plant specifically, which has these bright green leaves and deep kind of pink and purple on the inside. Looks like it. Trying to find a good reference that like I can understand. Some of these have like more purple and some of them have more pink. I need like a good maybe it goes green, purple, pink, I think. Okay, let's try this. And there's like a scalloped edge on this as well. I have an idea how we can do that. So let's scroll up and hide this plant again. Let's go back up to our working area up here. These all kind of generally have sort of heart-shaped leaves. Alright. I think it's more like in this shape. So I'm gonna grab that as a base. And we're gonna make that shocking green. And we're gonna pull this up a little bit. Actually, let's take the bottom of this off. Let's find the center. Scale this up. I don't really think that's the shape either. Alright, start over. I just need this to be shorter. Let's join. Find the center. Pull this up. Okay, that's better. That's close to the shape. Alright, so we've got this. I'm gonna try something here. We'll see if it works. Don't you love when I say that? I'm gonna cut this in half. Switch it. Make this round. I'm gonna add a dashed line. This actually looks pretty good. Kind of looks like the leaf shape. See if I can adjust this using a different stroke with profile. It's actually closer to it. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. You can also add a custom, so we can save this. And then go over here and add it. Switch it. There you go. So that looks pretty close to the leaf pattern. And then I'm gonna probably add in these colors, and then maybe add cautiously add a textured brush in here or something, transition. I'm a bit nervous about that again, about adding another brush into this file, as it will quickly become difficult to stream. Alright. I'm gonna copy and paste, make this a little bit smaller. And then I'm gonna use an offset path. Okay, there we go, there's the purple. Make it a little bit smaller, make it a little bit narrower. Object path, offset path. I'm just getting the general shape that I need. We're gonna need a brighter pink for this. This is like pink, very pink, into the reds. Eric, thank you and welcome. And this should probably actually be more in this area. And this, the bottom of both of these extends down to the plant itself. It looks like the stem. So I'm just gonna pull these both down. And then what I'm gonna do object, expand appearance, merge, cut this shape, Come on. Oh, but now I lost my pink. Okay. And then I'll do the same thing here. And then we need to add the branching lines, which are like a slightly darker pink. Alright, let's try this. So starting from the top and bringing it down here. And then I'm gonna have to adjust, I'm gonna follow the lines, you'll see, of my, these. I know, not coherent thoughts, deep concentration happening. Alright, then we're gonna take these. I'm gonna add some shapes that kind of follow. As always, if I didn't make it clear before, if you have any questions, you can always feel free to ask about what I'm doing in Illustrator or really anything. I'm always open to answering questions. I'm gonna just copy all of this and mirror it on the other side once we're done connecting it all together. And then we have to figure out that texture. I might make a scatter brush. I haven't decided yet. Shri Raman, thank you. Let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Glad you like it. This is actually going to come down a bit more. Sort of like that. And then there's also one that extends, well, these extend up too, so. I'm gonna just do one side though, because I'm gonna mirror this. Select all of this, and for the time being I'm going to group it so that I can mirror it, and then I'll merge these shapes together. Select this and this. Oh, I forgot to grab these too. That's okay. Go. Alright. Getting there. Different stretch. Doing a save. Alright, now let's see about adding that brush that I mentioned. You have one scatter brush here. Let's see if we can just use this. We're gonna have to make a copy of that. Okay. What's up? I need this to be closer together. See how this looks. Still needs to be closer together. do need to go with a smaller size. Not quite what I wanted. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's try this. That looks pretty good. This just doesn't want to work. We could mask it. I don't really want to, but we could. Super mod Corey coming in. Didn't even see it. Alright, how do we feel about this? Maybe if a Schraffle is still here. A Schraffle can let me know if this is true to what it should be. At least the one side. I feel like this is a little crazy. We need to tone it down. It actually gets like smaller and less as it gets close to the edge. Why is it disintegrating? Look up the watermelon coleus. It's got like a edge to it, textured edge. Is it too much texture? I can pull it back a bit. But they're falling off into space. No! I'm gonna mask that. I'm gonna do a mask. It's fine. Everything's fine. Corey just agrees with me. But I wanted to make sure that it looked good before I then masked it. Why did you not? There we go. See? Contained. I feel like the paint could be a little smaller. Admittedly. Why are you here? This is now admittedly reminding me of the colors I used on that. I did an illustration of Korok leaves from when Breath of the Wild originally came out. And this is reminding me of that. That was pre-live streaming days. Now I just want to do a whole Korok thing. I just love those characters. Little leaps. Badra, welcome! Stian says, what is a plant house without a plant disintegrating into space? I mean, that's fair. We do love the space plants on this stream. Also lets me vary it a little bit so it's not totally identical on both sides, which I kind of like. And we're just gonna add a little bit here, I think. Maybe. It doesn't look bad. Actually, I don't know if I like that. I think that's gonna be too much. You could try roughen. A little bit of a roughen. I feel like this also needs to go inside of the clipping mask. There we go. Maybe we didn't even need the brush. Do we like it just like that, without the disintegrating bubbles? All that work, and then you're like, well, actually, I could have just did it this way. Unicorn's headed up. Of course, it's looking amazing as always, Jack. Hope you get the jellyfish plant, and we'll check the rest of the stream tomorrow. Oh no, Unicorn's gotta leave. Well, we'll see. I don't want to do the jellyfish plant without Unicorn's approval. So. I don't know. Maybe we still do need this. Maybe just a little bit less. That looks good. I think that looks good. Whew, man, so much just for one little leaf. Now we have the task of figuring out how these look in the pots and how we get them in there. They are going to add a nice pop of color, and you know I love me some color, especially on this side where there's not like a ton of it going on yet. Alright, so they kind of have this interesting, I am going to want to have scale strokes and effects on for this one. Nope, wrong thing. Group that. Why do I feel like it's not? Because it wasn't. Because I hit cancel. Okay, there we go. Scale this down. Just start with a slightly more appropriately sized leaf here. And we're gonna add, these aren't gonna have a ton of, we'll have a little bit of skew and maybe just a little bit of envelope distort, but not a lot. I actually think I like a horizontal better. you know what we have to do though? I'm seeing. We are gonna have to expand that back piece and join it all. Otherwise it's gonna separate. And I should have thought of that before. There we go. Badria, I don't know if I said hi to you, but hello. Welcome. Do a little skew again. Go. And then I'm just gonna do a little envelope distort. Just to curve it a little bit. Not a lot. I can also kind of exaggerate this a little bit using skew. Put this kind of into place. It's kind of like our first leaf here. Dara says, wow, looks like the real thing. Yay! That's what we aim for. Always. Do another little skew on this one and curve it the other way. If nothing else, I hope I can inspire you to not be afraid of highly detailed things like this, because they're not that intimidating once you kind of have these tools at your disposal to get them to cooperate with how you kind of want them to. I'm thinking. We're gonna use a different envelope distort, I think, this time. See how it's kind of bending? We're gonna go the other way. It's gonna create like a curving out towards the viewer and down. Hi, Sean! How's it going? Sean's been holding down the fort today in the Firefly Discord, so shout out to Sean. Everybody thank Sean. Sean, we thank you for your service to the cause. I think I want this. I need everything. Everything's getting a little bit big. Let's make this a little bit narrower. A little bit shorter. There we go. Sean says, thanks, Jack. I only booted about 243,000 people. Oh, wow. Well, that's actually close to the number we have in the Discord, so it sounds like you booted everybody except for the moderators. Sounds like a successful day. Actually, I think I have this going the wrong way. I need this to be shorter, and this to be wider. There we go. That's more like it. I want to have one out here just to sort of like start to build the structure. Sean says, that's a lovely leaf. It's called a... I'm covering it up. It's called a coleus plant. So this was a Schroffel offered this suggestion, so... A watermelon coleus at that, so... Very interesting little plant. This. I'm actually not gonna... I'm just gonna adjust the perspective on this one, I think. If you haven't used the free transform tool, I can't recommend it enough. It's gotta be one of my favorite tools. I use it for everything. Also gonna do one coming this way, and I'm gonna actually make this shorter still. I'm gonna have to probably add some shading to this for like the leaves that are kind of underneath. Odara says, I don't have a watermelon coleus yet. Well, I hope that I'm inspiring you to add some new plants to your garden this year, Odari. Although I feel like I don't need to, since you already have plenty, it seems. Now you can kind of see it's coming together a little bit better. And the structure of the plant. I'm gonna add one more to this side, then I have to build up this side a little bit better. Stian says, these streams making everybody buy all the plants. That's really a compliment to Jack. Well, I'm glad that I can inspire you to go get a few houseplants for your space. Sadly, I had a fern up here, and Corey, I think we even named it Francine. I think it's, Sean, I think it's Stian. I could still be pronouncing it wrong, but I'm giving it my all. I also asked them the same question. Yes, but Corey's laughing because I had a fern up here. I just do not have... Corey is much better with keeping things alive, and Corey stole my fern from me and said we have to save it. So my fern is currently spending some time away on vacation. To hopefully recover from me. Sean says, I tried before, but Jack's very close. Like, I don't think English speakers can get it better. I'm sure that I could. I'm just, I just have a hard time. And it's entirely on me. I do not pick up foreign languages very well. Just as a general kind of, like, aside. I was never very good at them, the ones that I took in school. I just have a hard time with the, like, pronunciation side of things. So, I do my best, and I always say that, like, if I am saying your name wrong, please do correct me. You know, not doing it to be hurtful or spiteful. It's just... I'm trying to do it right, you know? I actually just think this leaf needs to be smaller. And it needs to be like one more over here or something. So please do not hesitate and correct me if I'm saying your name wrong. Is the moral of the story. I do feel like it needs to be longer on this side, but I need another leaf here. Maybe it's just something small that goes in front of this. This is where it gets complicated, because I kind of want this to be in front of this. Okay, I think I got it. No, because now this needs to be in front of this. Okay, I think that's... It's one of those things. You know what? I think it's fine. I'm gonna leave it like that. I made this a lot smaller and brought it in front. I actually don't mind that. Now that I see it. That looks pretty good, actually. And then I'll make this one a little bit. No, let's not do that. Let's do a little bit of a envelope distort on this one. Like that. Scale it down a little bit more. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. This leaf is still bothering me. I'm just not sure where to put it. Just something like that. It's just gonna be one of those things that, like, no matter where I put it, I'm not gonna be satisfied. Alright, let's do one here. Rotate it. I'm gonna put it a little bit behind. Yes or no? Alright. Sean says, I do love the color of those leaves, or whatever they are. They are leaves. So they're similar to, like, my other one here. The, what is this? The golden pothos. It's got, like, a little bit of texture to it. This one's got a little bit of texture to it. Versus, like, the rubber tree plants. Not so textured. Alright, we want to make these a little bit bigger, though, I think. Inside of the container. Or we just want to make the container a little smaller. And make everything a little bit bigger. Let's see what it looks like outside. In the wild. Oh, you know what? Where did I put the... Did I do all this on... No. We don't need that text anymore. There we go. I do feel like it's competing a little bit with the bonsai, so maybe we do need to move it over a little bit. I don't want to hide it too much, though. I think it would be bigger than the bonsai tree. What if we flip it? I think that kind of flow might work better. I don't know. We can also put it over here instead. I thought that that fit better. I think that kind of fits better. Thoughts? Stan? Is that how you pronounce it? Stan? With more emphasis, like Stan? Let me know if I'm pronouncing it better or worse. Stan. I'm gonna have to, like, internalize. Stan says it means he who walks with long steps, which is kind of funny as I'm 170 centimeters high. I think it was closer before. I'm so sorry. Stian. Is Stian better? I'm just gonna go with Stian. I could pull this over and then artificially move the tree over a bit. It's kind of a shame to cover a little bit of the bonsai tree up, but I do feel like giving it a little bit more space actually works more. Like letting those both kind of be cut off. Birdie says, this is so cool, what's the purpose of this design? It was a break between all of the client projects I was working on stream. I'm currently doing a branding project, and so this was really just an excuse to do something fun to break it up. I've been working on Peristyle coffee for a while, and I wanted to do something different. I know that can get a little bit tedious and therefore difficult to kind of watch. So I wanted to switch it up. You know, I'm always working on, I said this yesterday, that I feel like live streaming is a really good opportunity for me personally. Not only has it helped my communication skills that we talked about, but also it's a good chance for me to work on personal projects, because I never would do anything. I would never work on personal projects on my own. If it was up to me, I would just work nonstop. So this is just for fun. I was telling everybody this was kind of inspired by a story that I told on stream the first time. That there was this place that we used to go to. They no longer do it, an event they used to do on the weekends in the summer in Cleveland, and we would go visit there. It was kind of like in a more like industrial part of town, but there was this like building off to the side, and it always kind of like confounded me. It was this great mystery, and so this is kind of inspired by that, although it's still a little bit more fantastic. It's a lot more fantastical than the original building. But this building, when you walked past it, there was a large entryway. It looked like an apartment building, like one of those old, I don't know, like probably built in the 1950s or 60s brick apartment buildings. It's probably not even a very like interesting building architecturally, but it had one of those, you know, like the like you know, the entryways that had, like, the big double glass, not even, I don't think it was double glass, I think it was just, like, a single glass, you know, pane door, where you walk in, and then you have to, like, you've got mailboxes and you buzz, there's just a tile floor. If you've ever been in, like, an urban, old apartment building, you know what they kind of look like. And, but the building was very obviously completely abandoned. Nothing was left in there. I mean, like, nobody was living there or anything like that. But it was full, absolutely, like, full of these, like, tropical plants. The entryway. And I never understood it. Like, it's not a place that people are living. It's clearly not used as an apartment anymore because the space where you would kind of, like, walk into was just full of plants. Like, tropical plants. Plants that are not easy to keep alive in my climate. So I live in the Cleveland area, let's just say Ohio, northeast Ohio. And this was in downtown Cleveland. So it was very, like, not a place where, plants would survive, like, harsh winter, lots of snow. I have no idea how these plants were kept alive in that space, but they were, like, not your typical, you know, perennials for our climate. They were very much just, like, beautiful, tropical, flowering, colorful plants. Yeah, and just in the middle of this, like, obviously no longer in use apartment building or some kind of living residence at one point or something. I don't really know. Anyways, the building always captured my imagination, and I wanted to just kind of, like, recreate the feeling of, like, this very... I tried to, like, recreate the idea of, like, a building, this, like, urban architecture style building. These are actually Chicago style windows. That's just, like, full of plants. Like, something just very unexpected and kind of magical is what I was going for. And you're just kind of, like, looking through. It's not meant to be, like, a greenhouse. It's meant to be just, like, an urban space. And we can kind of, like, emphasize that. You know, we're kind of focusing on the plants right now. We could do something kind of... I don't know, I wanted the outside to feel very, like, urban, drab, architectural kind of look with, like, magical plants in the windows. I don't know. That was my thought. Wanted to kind of capture that feeling of that space that always kind of captured my imagination whenever I saw it. So, there you go. And yes, Stian saying this is going to be a great illustration to test on the vector recoloring on Firefly. I just realized. Yeah, that would be a good case. I mean, we can export an SVG of this, and we can totally check out vector recolor. It might give us some crazy color combinations. You know, I think at one point we talked about having, like, a fall color palette, you know? Like, having some kind of a, like, everything, like, going the opposite direction, having, like, plants that aren't taken care of, like, more browns and stuff, but... And Birdie says, yeah, it might be a little pedantic, but shouldn't the door windows have a handle? Yeah, probably. I mean, that's why I said we haven't done a lot other than kind of, like, I set up the base architecture that I wanted here on the outside, and I really, really wanted to focus all of my attention on the details of the plants, and then we can go back and add some details to the architecture. I just wanted to avoid adding too much detail to the architecture because I really didn't want it to be the focus. I wanted it to be kind of like, I don't know that we've got there yet, is what I'm saying, with the feeling I'm trying to capture, but I think that the plants are kind of giving that fantastical vibe. I don't know. We'll see where we end up, so. Sion's saying that could be really cool. Yeah, doing, like, a different color tone. We'll see. I can try to get that set up for our next stream, maybe. I will need to do a little bit of work, so just so you know, well, I take that back, because I actually have had, it's been pretty good with Illustrator SVGs and the vector recolor with Firefly. Sometimes SVGs have a difficult time with, like, displaying. So Illustrator, you know, so not to make get in a huge technical discussion, but this comes up a lot. SVGs are obviously relying on, like, your browser in order to display correctly. Typically, you're probably using them in a browser, or you're using them, it's here, with like a printer, like a Cricut or a laser cutter or something like that. And so you just have to be a little bit mindful about what you're using your SVG for and the context it's going to live in, like what it needs to do, because certain things don't work in Illustrator. So Illustrator is a very powerful piece of software, right? We can save an SVG that's got Illustrator's, and open it up back in Illustrator. Like if we're going, saving out an SVG from Illustrator, opening it back up in Illustrator, the journey is quite short, right? So, there's some things that Illustrator can do that your browser cannot parse and display correctly, like the envelope distort, or like brushes, and those types of things we're going to have to expand and create actual vector paths so that those can be interpreted. That has been less of an issue since we're going from, obviously, Illustrator and Adobe to Firefly, vector recolor. I actually put it through quite a big test and had a file with like brushes and clipping masks and all the kinds of and effects, things that normally I have a huge issue with, when I'm exporting for the web or for my Cricut. But I'd actually handled it really well. It actually like ingested and output the SVG using the recolor vectors without any issue. So it might not have an issue with this file. We'll have to do a test and see. It might be something interesting for next stream to see if we can come up with some interesting color palettes from this. So I'll set up a file that's maybe just leave this as is, but I'll also make like a clean SVG like I normally would, just in case we have a backup. And then we can run it through Firefly and get some different color palettes. Could be fun. Alright, but that is going to be it. It is exactly 5 o'clock on the dot. I spent the rest of the time just chattering away over here instead of working on any more plants. But we did get 2 plants done today, and I'm pretty proud of the plants we got done. They look really nice in the scene. Everything's really starting to come together. I do think we need to add more background elements down here, like I mentioned last time. And then I've got a list up here of these papaya leaf, the olive tree if we want to finish any of that on anymore, and this Malaysian monster, which those all have big leaves. And so I want to add some like big leaves kind of poking into the scene, similar to the bamboo and the hanging fern and stuff back here, to kind of fill out that space. So that's what we're going to do next time, along with maybe checking out the colors. But I do want to give a big thank you to Birdie for the follow. So thank you so much. Appreciate you. Venus flytrap in the window could be cool. Yeah, I do like the carnivorous plants. I had a lot of fun with the pitcher plant, so I'm going to go ahead and add that birdie to our list. We've got a humongous list going up here of all of the plants that everybody has suggested, and you can see we've checked off quite a few of them so far. Going to keep working on making our way down the list as we go. Let me add a little X here for the coleus. And an X up here for the pitcher plant. And I'm going to add one more very quickly. I'm just going to throw it on the top, to be honest with you. I'm going to add a Venus flytrap. Are you thinking like a literal Venus flytrap, like the small plants? Or are you thinking like in the background there's, feed me Seymour going on? Like a giant fantastical one. Let me know in the chat. Alright, I'm gonna switch to my face so I can thank everybody for hanging out with me today. Thank you so much. I don't know what my stream schedule is gonna be like next week, because I just realized that next Monday is actually a holiday in the US, so I might end up taking Sunday and Monday kind of off and have like a nice 2 days off to get caught up on, honestly, yard work, because my yard is starting to look like this plant window, to be honest with you. So that's probably going to be next week, but I will definitely be streaming probably on Saturday, 4 to 6 Eastern Daylight Time. But if you follow me here on Behance, it should be right above the chat over there. You'll be able to get notified when I go live. And I post my schedule to Behance as well as to social every week, so if anything changes, you can find the latest information in both of those places. And I am working on getting that link updated down there. I had to restart Media Encoder yesterday, so I'm re-rendering to get that But if you want, I'm sure Corey will share the link, but you can find all of my socials at jackwatson.design/links. So that's really I'll live now. Very easy to find. But thank you to all of the friends we had in the chat today. Ashrafel, Badria, Birdie, Bliss, Barago, Corey, Eric, Gareth, Jane, Mark, Media from, Odari, Oliver, Sean, Shri Raman, let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Sri Raman, I think, Stian, and Umacorn. Also be sure to go follow all of the amazing streamers we have in the chat. We've got Odari, we've got Sean, and we've got Umacorn. Odari streams Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sean streams Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. I know it's like the middle of the week. I'm sorry, I'm not like, I don't have your schedule memorized, Sean. And then Umacorn streams on the weekends, usually Saturdays and Sundays as well. So be sure to go follow all of those wonderful people. And then Jane as well is a streamer here on Behance. Jane streams on Fridays, so be sure to go follow all the folks. And then obviously we've got our mods, Corey, Nick. Oh, and Bliss. Bliss is also a streamer. I think I saw Bliss hop into the chat just briefly, or maybe I'm just remembering that from yesterday. But Bliss and Odari are both streamers on Behance. You can go follow them. And then we've got Corey and Nick are our other mods. Corey's got Crock of Time. If you're into food and fermentation, there's a Discord community and a website for that. And then we've got Nick, who's got a Bandcamp, so go be sure to support Nick and Nick's musical endeavors. Who knows? Sean says, sorry. Yeah, Bliss is here. I knew you were here. I don't know why your name didn't come up in the list. I wonder if it's just like not showing me everybody. I don't know. Or I'm just losing my mind, which is entirely fair. Roy, welcome. Roy, I'm sorry I'm just about to hop off. Nice to meet you. Welcome if this is your first live stream on Behance. I'm about to hop off, but I'm sure there's more live streams here on Behance, or if you check the live tab on Behance, there'll be a whole list of the most recent live streams. You can go ahead and watch the replays. Odari was live earlier. I also did a live stream yesterday, so you can check out all of the past live streams as well. So, and there'll be more. There's always more. So, all right, that's gonna be it for me for today. Also, don't let me forget that we also have in the Firefly Discord, Sean and I are going to be doing more Prompt Jockey this week, so come and hang out with us. Should be a good time. I think Sean's running tomorrow's Prompt Jockey, and that's at 11 Eastern Daylight Time, but that's my time zone. If you go to the Firefly Discord and you go to the events at the top of the channel list, you can see that you can go ahead and hit those events and they'll give you the times in your time zone. You can hit interested, so you'll get notified there if you want to attend those events. But Sean's going to be going over some how to prompt, like best practices, tips, doing like a AMA style where you can come and ask questions like, hey, I had trouble with this particular thing, can you kind of help me out? And there'll be people in the chat to kind of help too. So I know that like prompting has been a big question for everybody in the chat, or everybody in the Discord. So if you have any questions about how to write better prompts, be sure to come for that one. So that's it. I've said all my promos. I'm gonna go eat some food, but I hope you have a great rest of the weekend, such that it is, and a good start to your week. Bye everyone. I lost the outro. There it is.